Myself Dr. Ashish Satav. I did my MD from Government Medical College Nagpur, and since last 16 years I'm working in tribal area of Maharashtra called Melghat with my wife Dr. Kavita, who is an eye surgeon, and we have one son called Athang. Being a personal journey, I'll try to focus me on around the familiar matter more than the work, as I was told by Sachi and the team. So I'm forced to do that, so you have to tolerate it now. I do remember when I was in 7th class, I came across my real, I called Prerana was my grandfather, Mr. Vasantrao Bumbatkar, who has devoted his total life for Gandhian philosophy. He worked with Mahatma Gandhi ji, then Vinoba Bhave and Jayaprakash Narayan. And due to him, I could read Vinoba Bhave and Mahatma Gandhi. And Mahatma Gandhi ji said, कि the real India lies in villages, so youth must go to rural area to serve the nation. And after that, I started visiting various rural areas, and especially when I joined medical college, I started visiting tribal areas like Gadchiroli, Dr. Prakash Amte, Dr. Abhay Bang, and Dr. Ravindra Kulle. Then I found that this tribal area needs medical facilities much more as compared to rural area, as these people are living far away from the modern cities and facilities, and it's very difficult or nearly impossible for most of the tribals to go and avail those facilities. So I decided to start my work. And there were a lot of guides and Prerana, but Mahatma Gandhi ji and Swami Vivekananda, these are real driving force for all this journey. When I decided that I'll work in this area, I thought I have to prepare myself first, because as I could see there are a lot of problems and difficulties in that journey. So doing my MBBS, during summer when the temperature was 47, 48 in Nagpur, I used to stay without cooler for a few days, and during winter season I purposefully used to avoid hot water sometimes, so that in future if I won't get such facilities, I should not have to run away. So I started preparing. And during that time, I learned, when I was in 7th or 8th standard, I started learning yoga and meditation also. And it really helped me a lot that when I read Sthita Pradnyachi Lakshane, a book written by Santa Vinoba Bhave, he has explained how to control the mind. And that my inner, I never tried to win others in my life, but I always tried to win the Shadripu जिसको हम बोलते हैं, काम, क्रोध, मोह, मद और मत्सर. इन 6 चीज़ों को जीतने की I started since that time, and I can control to some extent most of them, and so today I am here in Melghat. जब गांधी जी पढ़ा तो गांधी जी ने 11 चीज़ें बोली थी. अहिंसा, सत्य, अस्तेय, ब्रह्मचर्य, असंग्रह, शरीर श्रम, अस्वाद, सर्वत्र भय वर्जन, सर्वधर्मी समानत्व, स्वदेशी स्पर्श भावना, that is lack of untouchability. When I learned these things, I tried to inculcate such things in my life, and due to that only my life become palatable and tolerable in area like Melghat. I do remember about some people said, what are the obstacles in your life? I don't think these are the obstacles, but these are the never hurdles in my path, but I think these are the challenges or opportunities to prove myself as well as to test myself. So I'd like to share some of them. After completion of my MD, I joined Medical College Sevagram for a few months, and then I started visiting Melghat because that was my ultimate dream. And when I found that Melghat is suitable for me, I am suitable for Melghat, I resigned from the lucrative job of Medical College and formed an organization called MAHAN. It stands for Meditation, AIDS, Health, Addiction and Nutrition. It was really, I was not knowing how I'll be going to be sustain myself and my future family, because there was no financial support for nearly 4 months in the beginning. I used to live in hut. I used to, my hospital was in a hut at that time, but my dedication, my devotion, and my very strong willpower was there because of this meditation and guidance by Vivekananda, Gandhiji and Vinoba Bhave. I do remember, and while I was in medical college, there used to be a lot of facilities in medical college, all sorts of guidance, equipments. But when I started practicing in Melghat, there was nothing with me. Many times I had to manage very serious patients of heart attack, brain hemorrhage, without facilities, even without sometimes electricity. A young man of around 35, 40 years was admitted in government hospital, and as there was no specialist in that hospital, I was called. The man was very critical. He was suffering from severe heart attack with heart failure, with pulmonary edema, that is collection of fluid in the lungs, and he was nearly on the verge of death. At that time, I used to go from my house to hospital on a bicycle. So people they don't used to think I might be a doctor, qualified doctor. So I thought if I'll treat that patient, and there is 10% chance that he might die after treatment also, and then people will kick me out. But within fraction of second, I realized that if I won't treat that patient, there is 100% chance of death. And if I'll treat, 90% chance of survival is there. And my strong willpower forced me to treat that patient. I was there without much more equipments, very small, some drugs and minor ECG machine, etc. And from 12 in the midnight up to 4 in the morning, I was with that patient with my heart. And in the morning, around 5, I could save the patient. And that increased my confidence, though there are no modern equipments, no facilities. But if you want to do something, if you want to save the life of people, you can do it. And I did it. And after that, I became habitual of it. Actually, that is also one sort of addiction, treatment of critical patient, and I become addict to that. But after that, I could treat thousands of patients, critical patients with very minimal facilities. I do remember one story. One 5 years young girl, she was suffering from brain malaria. She was very serious. She was in coma and convulsing a lot. She was on the verge of death. And I'm not pediatrician, basically. But I become habitual of treating children after treatment of my child, Athang. So I thought, if I'll not treat, she's going to die. So I should try. And I tried a lot. And I could save that lady child after 3 days. And she's alive now. So that has increased my confidence that I can do something even if I'm not pediatrician. For first year, as Kavita is eye surgeon and she wanted to do work with eyes only. We were not having much more money at that time, no financial support for our eye projects. She used to become depressed whether I'll have to operate upon cataract of tiger or like that. But during lectureship and during my post-graduation, I saved some money and we purchased one equipment called operating microscope. And at that time, one donor came from Nagpur, one of our well-wisher, Mr. Palaskar, who donated 10,000 rupees. And that was a very big donation for us at that time. And she could operate upon a few cases and she got confidence. But as there was not much work, she started visiting various villages. And Athang, my son, was just 4 months old. She used to carry him along with him. She used to tie a rope under some tree and keep him there and try to search for patients, try to convince them, bring them in the hospital in our vehicle. And she works from heart. I work from brain, which might be wrong as per Jayesh Bhai. She literally used to bring that patient. At that time, there was no mess or kitchen in our hospital. And she used to feed those patients, cook for the patient and prepare for them, feed them. And that made me to realize that the real worship is to serve the poorest of the patient. And she opened my eyes sometime. Once there was one serious pregnant lady was there. She was going to deliver, but it was obstructed labor, as obstruction came always. I never think. I do compare our life like a river. As you know, river, when it flows on smooth road, is not that beautiful. But when it travels through mountains, valleys, one has to jump through obstacles, it becomes more. So it's similar to our life. It's more beautiful when obstacles come. So that obstacle come for Kavita. She was not gynecologist, so she could deliver anyhow with the cataract instruments, that mother, and she could save that baby. But later on, she realized that that mother could not breastfeed. So I saw she used to give half of her milk, breast milk, to that baby, half of milk to Athang, and she saved that baby too. And that really helped me a lot. During my journey, as there was no pediatrician in their area, critical hospitals were around 100 kilometers. Athang used to be ill many times. Many times he became serious. And at that time, there was no ambulance, no facilities with us. And I used to treat him with whatever knowledge I had of pediatrics. And I could so many times from pneumonia, asthma. Once a night he was crying a lot because he was suffering from ear infection. His tympanic eardrum was actually broken down. And I could treat some way. And then I realized that we are both very highly qualified doctor, but we cannot provide very good advanced medical facilities to our son. But then immediately we realized if we want to serve the nation, we have to tolerate it all. There used to be a lot of poisonous snakes in our campus. Once Kavita was literally saved when she went to a village. A cobra was passing nearby. In the night, some animal put legs on her body and she could save herself. And once a cobra came just near to my head, I was shot at that time. And being Sarpamitra, we decided we could not kill the snakes. We used to catch the snakes and live in the jungle. But we have much more fight with the two legs snakes, that is human being, political leaders and some government. Because we expose the real status of malnutrition and child deaths in Melghat. And government system and political leader becomes against us. They tried to put fake cases against us twice. They tried to arrest me also. But as Gandhiji said, truth cannot be defeated, though it can be tripled. And we experienced it many times. Once upon a time, 2 years before, whole government system, corrupt people all together, Congress, BJP were against us. They tried to, but I was short because of blessings from people like you. So due to short of time, I'll just share one more story. 2 years before, when Kavita's father was very serious, he was really on the verge of death. And at that time, one serious young patient was admitted in our hospital. Then Kavita requested me to come with her. I thought if I'll go with Kavita, probably I might not be able to save her father. But a young patient was admitted and I'll be able to save that young boy. So I decided I will not go, and I could save his life. And Kavita accepted it me. There was one camp she organized. And at that time, again, one court case was going on against me. I was involved. शायद मुझे मर्डर के केस में अरेस्ट होने का चल रहा था. जब मैंने कविता को बोला कि you please don't arrange this camp because if I'll be arrested, there will be nobody to look after medical problems. She said, Ashish, don't worry. I'm here. I'll manage the camp. Even you will be arrested, I'll perform the camp because these patients are very poor. They can't afford to go back and nobody will operate upon them. और मुझे उस दिन लगा कि सही में मुझे मेरी रियल पार्टनर मिल गई है, who always with full devotion and dedication was with me. If they permit, I will share one more story. थोड़ा इसलिए आना चाहता हूँ मैं कि मेलघाट इज़ नोन फॉर चाइल्ड डेथ्स एंड माल न्यूट्रिशन. Hospital approach cannot control it. So once a poor tribal lady, widow lady came to me, or hut-like hospital. As there is one photograph of severely malnourished child. That baby was severely malnourished on the verge of death. When I requested that lady to admit that baby, that mother said, I don't have money. I said, don't worry, we'll manage it free of cost. After multiple requests, she refused. When I ultimately used my weapon, if you won't admit, he's going to die. She very calmly said, Doctor, I have 4 children at my home. There are cows and hen who are going to take care. And anyhow, he's going to die. The mother went back. Child died after 2 days. 5 children died due to diarrhea, and Kavita did not allow me to sleep. And then we decided that we will train some local tribal female in that area who can serve and treat such critically ill patient in village itself so that nobody will die. And I request Sachi to show photograph of Lakshmi. Lakshmi was a severely malnourished child, and we trained local tribal female for treatment of such severely malnourished children. Trained Mirabai, who is just 7th standard pass, could treat severely malnourished Lakshmi, who was on the verge of death at home. And today, Lakshmi is enjoying a normal life. So I think there is real achievement of our life. So I'm very much thankful again to all of you for listening to me very carefully. And I'm again thankful to the organizers for calling me here.